Yesterday I was doing a live stream and I was asked the question, how do you go about getting your first paid video gig? Let's have a chat about that. So right now I'm working in video production full time, but that only happened very recently. Let's talk about how I managed to get my first gig. So the first camera that I ever owned was a Canon 250D. That was the first sort of like proper camera in my eyes that I ever owned. Up until then I've been shooting videos like on my phone and on like a little handy cam thing. It's the first time I started to make the switch over to a DSLR. Now I'm out on site shooting footage for companies like HCD. I'm wearing one of their jackets today. I shoot footage for these guys every day and I love it because I get to do something I really enjoy every single day of the week. And then evenings and weekends I have lots of other projects like music videos and stuff like that. But it all started from one free shoot. And I know people hate the word free, but when you're first getting started in anything, you have to prove yourself first, and that's what I did. I remember I shot a music video for a guy called Sam Osler, just a simple music video playing the piano. It was the first time I'd ever synced footage together or anything of that nature. I had no idea what I was doing, but it worked out. It looked okay, it wasn't great, but it looked okay, and I put it on social media and it created a little bit of a buzz around my family and friends. People were like, oh, that's pretty cool, could you shoot me one? And then obviously I went on to do a few more free shoots. Then this happened. So I ended up shooting this music video for a band called Voodoo Sue. Now Voodoo Sue are pretty big on the circuits. They do a lot of big sort of rock shows and stuff like that. I did this video in this old warehouse. It was the best video I'd done to date. It was really cool. But the great thing about it is the lads appreciated obviously the work that I'd put into the video, and they literally turned around to me and said, look, we can't not pay you for doing this. Like, what would you charge us? I really struggled for ages to sort of come up with a price in my head, and I thought, well, it was a long day. We were there for like a whole 10 hours or something like that, and then it took me a really long time to edit it, so I just said like £250. And the lads just went, yeah, that seems sweet to us, no problem at all. $250 for a music video is pretty cheap, and it was a good video. And it was the first time I was really proud of a piece of my work. And they paid me the $250. And that's when it went light bulb moment. I was like, I can actually do this and earn a good amount of money from it. And initially I was never thinking of starting like a business or doing it full time or anything like that. Initially I was just thinking, can I keep getting little paid ones like this occasionally amongst doing other stuff for free? So then what I did was I started moving on to businesses, and I'd go around offering businesses videos for free. And then again, similar kind of thing happened. I had a tanning studio. I shot a video for them. They were like, look, we can't not pay you for this. They gave me £100. And I was just doing little things like that here and there, but I realised that I still wasn't quite good enough to go out and sort of keep charging people like large amounts of money every single week for my services. It just wasn't feasible at the time. So I just kept working at it, and I did that for 5 long years. Now, I'm not saying you need to do it that long, and I probably should have taken the plunge pretty soon, but how I started out was pretty simple and probably the same way most people do. The problem is a lot of people give up because they don't want to do the grind. And it is a grind because you're finishing work, you're working your 9 to 5, and then you're going home, and then you've got to work again all night because you've got to work till midnight editing. Now I work on video full time and I'm still doing exactly that. I'm filming all day and then I'm editing all night, but I enjoy it. If I was to start again completely from scratch, this is what I would do. I would start thinking about what my brand wants to represent and how I want to be seen in the industry. That's something I neglected for ages actually, and I only recently really started doing it properly since maybe 5 or 6 months ago. And as soon as I started doing that, the whole game changed for me completely. Another mistake that I made was I felt like I needed to research everything to death. Like I would just watch endless videos, tutorial videos, etc. I wish I'd have just got out and done more, because if I'd have got out and done more early on, I think I'd have got to this point much quicker. But I was such a perfectionist is a term people use, but I was so worried about making sure I was doing such a great job that I just didn't want to actually do the work unless I felt like I knew everything. And the fact is there's a lot of small businesses and small people trying to become brands, like early days, that need people like you to help them in that journey so you can help each other. And what I ended up doing was teaming up with a couple of people, and this is what I suggest to you. Find 2 or 3 companies or 2 or 3 social media people that want to sort of start growing their social game, and partner with them and say, look, I'll help you grow your thing if you help me grow my thing. And that's the way I wish I'd have done it, rather than being so scattery with it. If I was going to do it again from scratch, I would find an artist, say a musician or something, if I wanted to just do music videos, and I would say to them, I'm going to shoot all your music videos and social content for you for every release that you do for the next year. But in return, every time you post anything that I do, you're going to make sure I'm credited, you're going to make sure I'm tagged, I'm going to have video produced by at the beginning of every one of your videos, but it's not going to cost you a penny, etc. So this would be, for me, the fastest way to sort of grow your brand. But another tip would be, make sure as you're doing it, you're documenting yourself shooting said videos, because I never did that. I never did any of my own behind the scenes. I was shooting behind the scenes for everyone else, and I never did it for myself. Make sure you get that, bang it up on YouTube, social media, everywhere, create your shorts, create your reels. It's gonna be a real grind, but I think if you do that really early on, you'll grow so much faster than I ever did. And this is stuff I wish I'd have done when I first started. Back end of last year, I started doing these things, and then my brand started growing like considerably. So, and I knew all along that that's what I was supposed to do, because that's what I was doing for other businesses, but I just wasn't doing it for myself. So don't fall into that trap, is my number one piece of advice. Don't fall into the trap of doing all this hard work for everyone else, but not doing any for yourself. Yes, it's extra work. Yes, it means you're staying up a little bit later at night, but it is how you're going to grow your brand, and it's the only way you're going to sustain it. I've seen a lot of people start video brands, video companies, and just die off after a year because they either can't get the amount of work that they need, or they're just burnt out because they're having to just constantly chase business. Let the business come to you. I literally don't do any advertising anymore. I just put my content out. I do what I've got to do. People credit me, and that's where I get most of my business from, is actually referrals. They credit me on whatever video I made for them, and then I get business from that. All right, that is honestly the best, easiest, most organic way you can possibly grow. And brilliant, if you've got a little bit of money, you can spend it on advertising, but team up with people, make sure you're getting the credits that you deserve, and that is how you'll get your first gig, your first fully paid gig, I promise you, if you just do it. Now, camera gear I started with was pretty basic. Now I've got cameras coming out of every orifice, it seems. I've got big drones, I've got big cameras, I've got little cameras like these DJI Osmos. If you can only afford one camera in the world right now, I would go out and buy one of these immediately. They're just so bloody good. And there's so much you could do with them. Just go out there and do it, because honestly, I got work and got video jobs very early on, but I didn't grow my brand. I didn't even attempt to grow a brand. I didn't do any of the stuff I should have been doing. So please don't make that mistake, because you will suffer for it long term. But to get that first gig, just go out, grind, reach out to as many people locally as you can. Just message them. I'll come and shoot videos for you for free for a whole year. Please do it for a year, because you're going to get noticed so much more, and people are going to be like, hang on, this person's really taking this seriously. So that would be my advice to new videographers. I hope this video has been helpful in some way. I'm sure it's a story you've heard before, but hopefully hearing the same story again will just reiterate to you that that is the most common way of doing it. The only mistake I would say most people make is the branding thing. Please make sure you jump on that quite early on, because it's really going to help you out. Look, I'm going to go now because I'm waffling, but I'll speak to you again in another video. And look out for one of my live streams. I'm doing loads of them at the moment, where I'm taking you live behind the scenes, showing you exactly what I do on the job. So speak to you soon, guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks very much.